You've seen the title of the video. Black pilled, incel, doomer, MGTOW, true force loneliness. What else am I missing? Depressed, black pilled, all that stuff. Everything. Into one. Yes. I know why you're searching this video up, why you came here today, because you wanted to see a guy like myself get in front of the camera and start ranting about life and being a black-pilled incel, MGTOW, doomer. I know that's MGTOW is not really a part of it, it's something else, but really they're kind of all in the same thing, in the same vein, and, you know, ugly and, you know, low status and blah, 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 and, you know, I'm this and I'm that, and it just, yeah. So I know why you're looking this up. You just want to hear some guy vent. You want to hear a guy relate to all those problems and those struggles. But what if I told you that I can relate to the way that you're feeling, but I'm not here today to just talk about, oh, my life sucks, oh, it's all over, it's over, the over mindset. It's over mindset. It isn't over. It is not over. It's only over if you say that it is over. Okay, so that's what you don't understand, is that you've locked yourself in this psychological prison, and I'm here right now and I'm going to free you. I'm going to free you with this video and this information, and maybe some of you will understand what I'm saying and hear me out, but some of you, a lot of you probably won't and are going to get upset with what I'm going to have to say. But yeah, you really need to get yourself out of this incel mindset. So yeah, even if you're a lot of these guys, you give them advice and you may be willing to listen to the advice. Some of them take it and some of them don't. But yeah, you really just need to confront your problems head on, because a lot of you just want to wallow in self-hate and misery, and you just have this all-consuming hate and misery about life, and while you have all these problems, when you don't actually want to confront any of your problems and any of your issues in life, and then it just spirals out of control, and you just hate the world and you blame your world for all your problems. But you know, you continue to blame the world for all your problems, and there's only so much time that you can do that, where you just need to actually pause and look inward for yourself. And look, I know the world isn't a perfect place, and a lot of women, they can be kind of callous, and you know, you may have a lot of bad experiences with them, and you know, maybe they ghosted you, maybe they were seeing other guys while they were talking to you, or maybe they were maybe you had a girlfriend or a wife and they cheated on you, or you know, maybe you never had one at all and girls were bullying you. And you know, a lot of guys have been through that ringer, and you can decide which path you want to go to after all these negative experiences happen to you in life. And you can just decide to hate women your entire life and just complain about them nonstop. But you know what, all those women are going to just look at you, and you know, they're not even going to know that you exist and know anything about you. They're just going to see, if they knew anything about you, that you're just a loser, or if they did know anything about you, most of them don't even know you exist. So it doesn't even matter. Like, you're just getting all worked up at them, and you're projecting that hate that you have toward your life outward toward all these women, when in actuality it's only hurting you. These women are not getting offended or hurt by anything that you're doing or saying. And yeah, unfortunately, there are a few guys who completely lose the plot and basically just go out and they start attacking. Not even all the time. So women, sometimes they just attack random people and guys out there in the world, and and then that's what they do. But this is a small minority of the incel black pill doomer people with this mindset that it's over, and true force loneliness community, and incel forums and all these things. And yeah, basically they're just they just lose the plot. And whereas a lot of people, they just even if they do that, then they're just going to die, or they're going to spend the rest of their entire lives in prison. And I mean, that's not very good in my opinion at all. So I mean, is that how you really want to end up? Whereas you could just confront your problems head on, and these other guys are just putting out the hate all the time, and in reality it's just going to come back toward them, because that hate is just raising your cortisol and your stress levels, and you're just going to get all worked up and thinking about women, this and that, and then you like doom scroll, and you go and you see these stupid videos about these shallow women getting interviewed on the street, and they're talking about, I don't like this guy because he's too ugly, or he's too short and he doesn't have this status and this money and he's doing this thing that's icky and blah 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 blah, and you're hyper focusing on all the negative things, and you can't see the forest for the trees. You can't see all the positive things in your life, and you can't just look around you and just see, like, why would you even want to be with a woman that's like that in the first place? Why would you want to be with somebody who is so toxic like that and treats you like trash and has that like shallow mindset? Like, why wouldn't you just say, well, I don't want to be with the woman anyways if she's just going to be that way? And you might say, oh, that's all women get in that way, and then you start falling into that negative mindset. I mean, even if that is true, why are you going to just dwell on all that negativity? And like, why even complain about women in the first place if you're just going to say, oh, all women suck and all women are bad? Then why are you even going to dwell on all of that nonsense about women being angry about it all the time? Just like, okay, yeah, if you believe that they all suck, then just move on with your life and just try and find happiness and peace with yourself. Like, why are you so pressed about them not being with you if you're actually like, so if you just hate them so much, like, it doesn't make any sense why you're creating this whole personality that revolves around them. It doesn't really make any sense. And yeah, so that's why you should never identify yourself with the incel label, because it's just so toxic, and it's very toxic to your mental health, and you just start, you just become all consumed with hatred, and it's really bad. And a lot of these forums are just consumed with it, and they just get really excited over like pissing other people off, and it's just a really toxic, unhealthy way to live. And yeah, you think that you're making other people miserable when in reality, really the only ones that you're hurting are yourselves, and you're not really going anywhere. And yeah, so you can have choices. Like, you can just confront your problems and like move on, because a lot of these guys, like, of course you're going to have problems, and if you're just going to dwell on all the negative experiences that you've had with women, or you had seen online and you never experienced it, then either just work toward it or just actually don't do anything, and don't pursue them. Like, just why waste all the time complaining all the time? These whole forums dedicated to everything, it's just such a toxic mindset. And then other younger guys might fall into it, and they see it, and then they lose hope in life. Like, you're actually causing a negative chain reaction to happen in the world. And why wouldn't you want to contribute something positive to the world and just say, hey, I really struggle with getting with women and having women like me and all that stuff? And then you could actually just say that, like, well, look at me, and I'm still happy, and I have a good life, and I've made something positive of myself, and I'm a positive example. Then maybe actually you'll ascend, and then you'll be able to actually get one in the future, or maybe you don't even want one. And yeah, so then it just then you still have a good life, and you can focus on the positives. Like, everybody has something that in their life that they can't have, or they really want something, like. And this is also kind of like they tend to think like, oh, these guys in a relationship, they just see the good parts of the relationship, like on social media and stuff, and them walking outside and kissing and everything. And it's really like, you talk to all the guys that have had that and everything, and they really will say, yeah, I mean, it's good, it's whatever. But like, for a lot of other type of guys, are just gonna be like, yeah, it's not the be all end all of life. And you can, I mean, yeah, and if you're looking for just sex, you can just you just get escorts, and it might be legal or illegal where you live. So it's up to you if you want to make that that gamble and whatever. Because I've known some guys who were not able to get laid with women, and they were seeing escorts. Some of them said it was actually improving their life and their mental health, and it was a good like release for them. And some other guys said it made them feel worse. So it's just up to you, and you can experiment with that if you want to. I'd say I would never, don't think I would ever do that myself for various reasons. But yeah, and if it's just sexual stuff, then you can get into like pornography on the internet, and sex dolls and all that kind of other stuff as substitutes. If you just go for the next best thing, or really, yeah, just work on yourself to get the woman that you want. And a lot of people mock this idea, and they think it's totally ridiculous, because they're so inundated with this very rigid mindset of the black pill that totally destroys your life and destroys reality. Like, all you have to do is just go outside for a certain period of time, and you really just see a lot of below average looking guys, girls that are a lot better looking in terms of like the guys. Then you'll see it, and then that in their life, and you can just improve yourself. And even if you don't attract all the girls that you want, or attract the girls that you want, then you can just, you at least have that you worked on yourself and you got progressed in life. But no, these guys just want to let go of their entire life just because women don't like them. But it's so ridiculous because they say that they hate women, and then they're just giving women all this power over their life to just say, oh, if you won't be with me, I'm just going to self-destruct. It's totally nonsense. It's insane. And the way, if you really want to stand up in society, to just stand up for yourself and build your character. And, you know, if life is a game, then build up your character and, you know, actually, hustle. And yeah, and even if you don't get whatever you want in the end, at least you can say, I tried, instead of just laying there in your final moments and just saying, oh, you know, having all of these regrets. At least you took the steps forward to try in life, you know. So don't get inundated with this black pill mindset. And yeah, the longer you're in it and the more time you spend in it, the harder it's going to be to get out of it. And it just, I don't know how some guys, they're just talk about it all the time, and they just get so obsessed with it, and at a certain point you just talk about the same things over and over again, full of hate, and you're just so angry all the time. Like, don't you ever just get sick of that life then, where you want to try something new? And yeah, so that's why I never recommend going on these forums and, you know, discussing this stuff with other guys, like how much you hate women and all, you know, all, not even just women, but like LGBT people and everything like that. It's just so toxic to your mental health. Okay, if you don't like women and you don't like LGBT or whatever, then it's just like, yeah, I get like you making jokes about it sometimes, but it's just like at the same time, like if you are just like angry mulling about it all the time, it's just not going to fix anything, you know. It's just like, focus on what you can control in your life, otherwise you're just going to be totally miserable. And you need to actually do genuine self-improvement, find some goals in your life and everything. That's what I'm saying, you know, about myself. I wanted to talk about, you know, I've had schizophrenia for many years of my life, and you know, something I'm still dealing with. I have a psychiatrist appointment soon, and you know, it can be very difficult. Also OCD as well, and it's just a very difficult thing to deal with. And you know, I think about myself in my own life. If I were a girl, like, would I want to be with me in my current state? And I don't think I would, because you know, even though I think I have a decent personality, I'm, you know, a decent looking guy and everything, I think that it's like, it would be okay. But I mean, the problem is that, you know, I have these mental conditions that are not fully treated, and I think that would be a little bit volatile into a relationship. And you know, I don't know if I would want to be with someone like that off the bat, you know, and like start talking to them and get attached, because it's just like, yeah, you don't really know what kind of things that they're going to be going through in their life. So yeah, you really just got to get out of this mindset as soon as you can, because the longer you're in it, the worse it's going to get. And yeah, you're just gonna have to take baby steps, especially if you let go of your life and a lot of things, you know, milestones or things that you need to do pass you by, and you have all these things that are building up in your life, then you're just going to have to take them day by day. But the longer you wait, the more you just think about it, it's only going to get worse with time. And either you're just going to completely give up and never achieve anything, or they're just going to build up that your future self it's going to be a lot harder for your future self, and then your future self's going to be more angry with you. So do your future self a favor and actually start doing the work today, and it'll snowball. The smaller things that you do, it'll snowball bigger and bigger, and you have more motivation with the dopamine system in your brain will, you know, come back up. And if you really need help, a lot of people on these forums and everything, maybe they're mentally ill. A lot of them, I know, they also might have they're not neurotypical, you know, such as myself, that like you might need actually some like psychiatric help and talk to therapists and everything. But a lot of these communities will discourage you from going to therapy and psychiatry and everything like that, and actually reaching out and getting help. And I know I've had a lot of negative experiences with psychiatry and therapists in my life too, and some pretty positive ones as well that stick out in my mind. And you know, you just got to do what you can to fix it. And if you got a phone, you're watching this video right now, you can call for help. You can schedule psychiatrist appointments. I had to schedule a lot of them, and I did it all on my own. And sometimes that's kind of difficult, because you know, when you have stuff like OCD and you have stuff like schizophrenia, it kind of wears on your executive functioning over time, and it can actually make it like more difficult to actually basically have focus. And like what happens is, like I had to go through the steps. It's like you got to take each little step, but the more steps that you take, the further you get to it. You know, you have to call, all right, I got to find the insurance card, I got to call the insurance company, I got to get the list of the psychiatrists in my area, I got to start calling other psychiatrists, so I got to schedule all these appointments. And then it's like, well, this appointment is this and that. Like I called up one place, I got referred to by my primary care physician, that I got referred to this one psychiatrist who was all the way out in actually late February, I think. And it was like, yeah, the end of this month. And I scheduled that back in January, and it was pretty far out, and far time-wise, not far out, is cool, but yeah. Anyways, I scheduled that appointment, and then they were telling me stuff like I have to actually urinate in a bottle or a container in front of them. And I was just like, well, if this place isn't even gonna, because I've had like OCD and everything like that, and it's just kind of like a weird thing, like this place. And I thought that was really weird. I was like, well, if it comes down to it, maybe they can take my blood or whatever. I'm kind of going off track, but I guess my point is here is like, this place isn't even going to respect my privacy. Then I need to be proactive, and like why should I go to a place that isn't going to respect my privacy? So I got to be proactive as an individual and start consulting other practices in order to find some other places. And I wanted a place sooner as well, and I did all that work. And I called some other places too that I could have got scheduled like even sooner than I have right now, and I just didn't feel comfortable with them. So then I decided to go with some other ones. And so I got one relatively soon. It's actually in like less than 48 hours right now, my appointment. And I had to do all that work, and I called so many different places, and I have all these different places scheduled, like lined up in case one cancels. So you just got to do all that work yourself. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work calling all these places and dedication to it. And because some of them, they don't call you back. Some of them, their messaging doesn't work. The phone number doesn't work. Like this insurance company, I don't know, they give you like weird phone number. What I'm saying is like it's a whole debacle. But I had to go through all that, and I had to struggle for that in order to like take the steps to actually better myself and fix my mental health. And those little things. It's the little things over time, and then maybe you can actually get on these medications that help you think clearer and actually help you function better. And maybe that's what you need if you're dealing with stuff like anxiety, depression, social anxiety, or you have more serious mental health conditions as well that you really should be medicated for. So you need to address all those things. And a lot of guys too, they're in their 20s and they don't have driver's license. And I know like it can be frustrating, like if you're like me and you don't always appreciate that you live in a car dependent area. Like you wish, I wish I could just take my bike or walk places and stuff. But like if you live in a place where you need a car to get around, and you really need to get around, and you need to start doing some things for yourself and get out of the house and everything, then you need to get a driver's license, or either borrow your parents' car or borrow somebody else's car, buy your own car, like figure out the cheapest car, and just work toward it. You got to take the little steps, because it's hard to look at in the future and just say, oh well, that's a really like far away, like, oh, how am I gonna get to that point where I have a better life? Well, you got to take the little steps, and you gotta make a list, and lists are great. And everybody, you're watching this on a device, if we're on PC, open the text editor or whatever, and if you're on a phone, you can get the Notepad app. If you don't have it already, start listing stuff. If you don't have that, just get a piece of pen and paper, just whatever, do what you need to do to actually improve your life. And yes, I know it can be very daunting, it can be hard at first, and yes, but what I'm saying is, the incel life, it is not just encompassed by just not getting girls. It's also a whole identity of being like a doomer and having a negative outlook on life, and just being full of hate and spewing all that all the time, when in reality it's just going to come flying back in your face, and it's just going to ruin your life. And so a lot of these guys, you can give them so much advice, and you can try to change your outlook, but a lot of guys, at the end of the day, you aren't going to get help unless you want to help yourself. And I hit rock bottom multiple times, and been in like very many difficult situations, and at the same time I was like, okay, you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you just got to be like, yes, this is happening, I'm going to change things. And you got to take those baby steps and progressively improve upon your life. And your future self is going to thank you. Your future self will thank you. You'll be like, yes, finally, I have my life in order. I can look back at that point and say, man, that was a dark point, but you know what? I made it through that, and I've developed more character because of it. And that will be very beneficial for your mental health, because you're like, yes, I can go through difficult things, and I was able to do that and accomplish all that myself. And you have a sense of accomplishment, because there's some guys that can't get girls that talk about incel stuff sometimes, and then they kind of just, they have other successes in life, you know what I mean, like they still go on it. And then some other guys become like total doomers, and they just totally bail out on life, and a lot of them oftentimes have mental health issues, and they don't want to prioritize or think about their mental health. It's like, how are you even talking to them and fantasizing about being with girls when you can't even fix their mental health, and you're just talking about girls all the time and wanting to be with them when your life is in total freaking shambles? If you just add a girl into that equation, it's just going to get worse. Like, how are you even going to properly manage the ups and downs of a relationship? It's just absolutely absurd, The way that these guys are thinking is, very short-sighted and naive, honestly. Yeah, and they just have this fairy tale vision of the world where it's just like, oh, the good-looking guy always wins, and I can't compete with that. He's got high status and blah blah blah. And it's like, you're competing against the phantom, man. Like, what are you talking about? Just go outside and you'll see all the bad-looking guys with girls and much better looking than them. And I'm not complaining about it. Like, they obviously have some kind of formula, and that formula is sometimes just being a upstanding guy, or maybe they just have somebody that has the same values as them, and it's not that complicated. And these guys try to rationalize why their life is so bad and overcomplicate things, when in reality, even if all of that stuff that they say is true, even if the black pill is true and everything, and it's just like, oh yeah, you gotta have 9 out of 10, 9.856 likes in terms of the look scale, and out of 10, and or else it's totally over for you. You're just all that, it's just like, okay, even if all of that is true, like, oh, okay, yeah, you're totally out of luck if you're not like a Chad type of guy. Then it's just like, well, whatever. I guess it's just not your thing. You need to learn to love yourself. And these guys, they're so miserable. Like, what does that say about you, that you can't even be alone with yourself? Like, I guess you don't even love yourself, apparently, because you can't even love your own company. How do you expect a girl to love you then and have a good relationship when your mental health is so messed up that you're not even enjoying your own company? You can't just enjoy your life as it is and just notice the beautiful moments. And yeah, you got to find your own niche and find the things that you like. Find some good hobbies. And some guys, they just watch like TV all day and just rot and lay down and rot. Just lay down and rot mentality. Your brain is going to rot too. Like, do some proactive things, learn some skills, develop yourself in a community. You can do all kinds of studying. I mean, we have the whole world at our fingertips now. We have the internet. There's Wikipedia. There's all kinds of scientific journals and articles that you can read and learn up on. There's so many, if you're a visual learner, there's educational videos, there's podcasts, there's audios, and everything. There's everything there is to learn, and you're just sitting there and you're just watching TV talking about how miserable life is. And at least if life is miserable, and yes, this world is a really messed up and dark place oftentimes, but at the same time, you need some hope to keep on going, and you got to motivate yourself if you want to make a change in the world. Like, it's just like, oh, what do? Just lay down and run, just say, well, oh, it's over, and you're just gonna feel bad about yourself all the time. At least you feel better trying to make the world a better place and just make it a better place. And yeah, it's insane to be sane in an insane world sometimes, and there's a lot of crazy things about this world, but at the same time, I think we made a lot of progress in society in certain ways. Some ways we went backwards, but at the same time, you just gotta keep on working and trying to get to the point where you just really have these motivations. And yeah, I was I had a worthless life, and I felt so meaningless all the time, and I had this void in me too, and I just had to find what gives me purpose. And talking about this and helping, talking about mental health and being a mental health advocate on the internet is also a good thing and can give you purpose in life. And learning more about mental health and understanding your own, how your own mind works, you can, help yourself, and you can help other people as well. And that can give you a sense of fulfillment and purpose in life. And you can give people advice. You can also research all kinds of things, become studious. These are things that are just not like, oh, I played a PlayStation, I got these trophies, and and then you turn the game off and you have nothing. But like, these are things that are going to follow you around in the world, and learn useful skills. And another thing that I really care about is animal rights and animal rights activism, and talking about veganism with people. And sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't, but it gives you that sense of fulfillment, and it's something that I'm passionate about, and I truly believe in, that keeps you going. Because even if you're tired one day, you think about all the other people and the living beings in this world that need your help and that you can help. And yeah, so I guess I'm rambling on now, but yeah, I don't want to make this video overly long. I think I'm just going to cut it here right now. And if I have more to say about this topic in the future, then I can just talk about it again at another time. But yeah, feel free to DM me. Maybe I'll leave a social media link in the description or something like that. I think I can leave links on this channel now, and etc. etc. Yeah, thanks for watching this video presentation, and see ya. Yeah, so I also just wanted to say, yeah, for me personally too, some guys that actually work out a lot more than me, I'm just getting into it now. Might say, oh yeah, you're still skinny and blah blah blah, and just don't compare yourself to other people, because comparison is a thief of joy. And just focus on the progress that you've made as an individual. Compare your past self to your present self, and then improve upon that. But basically, I just want to say, yeah, fixing my diet was one thing. Losing that weight, because I was fat before. I was on these antipsychotics that were making me gain weight, and I was just sitting on the couch and just depressed all day, sleeping all day, and depressed. And I was just eating all these cupcakes and potato chips by bags and all the time, and I just got fat, and I had this like big insulin gut, and it was really bad, and my face was all bloated. Maybe I'll show some pictures. Maybe not another video, because I gotta finish up this video. But yeah, anyway, yeah. So basically, go vegan if you haven't, and yeah, I mean that helped me lose weight on its own, and also yeah, just working out, trying to build muscle now. And I was gonna say, yeah, might put it in the thumbnail or something. And yeah, that's the progress I made as an individual. So that's some goals to think about. Yeah, just working out, and it's good for your mental health as well. It makes you mentally stronger, and creates more neurons in your brain. It recycles them. So something like that. Whatever. Anyway, so the progress I've been making right there. So yeah. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, and yeah, peace out.